Happy New Year and welcome to today's video. From chilling to peak concentration, perfect performance and how to give your full performance as a musician. As a musician and occasionally instrumental teacher, I know the frustrating situation in which your fingers don't obey and concentration suddenly just evaporates. Whether during rehearsals, in studio situations or on stage. I have repeatedly observed how both music students and experienced musicians, including myself, sabotage their own performance through over-motivation and unnecessary tension. In this video today, I would like to share my personal experiences and show how targeted calmness and mental strategies can help you to achieve full concentration exactly when it counts. Let's get started. How musicians get in their own way. These situations are familiar to most musicians. You actually know the parts, but suddenly you mess them up at a crucial moment. For some reason your concentration has gone, and with it you are playing confidence. What an embarrassment. Then there are scenarios in which you want to learn something new, maybe, according to the motto, hey, it can't be that difficult, but because of all the euphoria, it doesn't work. And a few minutes later, what you have learned with so much effort has already disappeared from your brain. Is it really just the so-called musical memory that needs to be trained extensively until all movements work without you having to think about them? Is it just about training movement to grip several sequences, solos, etc. so often that you can recall them automatically? Certainly, but not exclusively, I would say. Maybe even quite the opposite. Without commands from the brain, nothing moves. We all know that. The fingers simply do not function independently. There is always an interaction between the commanding head, the sending spinal cord and the executing fingers. It is what it is. If the brain does not tell the muscle what to do, they will do nothing. This may sound as banal as it is confusing, but it is the basis of how not only musicians, but musicians can call up their full performance at exactly the right moment. In my opinion, to have the control center activated at full speed at the right moment, it must above all be tidy and free of unnecessary weight. But in our overstimulated world, there are so many things that bombard us every second, and that cannot simply be pushed aside, right? Have you ever heard of the phenomenon selective attention? Yes, we humans do this all the time, mostly without being aware of it. After all, the real trick is to not allow unnecessary stimulus and impulse in the first place. Otherwise, we would probably go crazy permanently. This is exactly the ability we want and need to train in order to deliver with perfect performance at the required moment. The keyword is selective attention. For instance, the ability to focus attention on certain features of a task and to block out irrelevant stimuli. Draw self-confidence from calmness. This means nothing less than we must first learn to relax, and then, when we are relaxed, completely block out unimportant factors around us. A good example of this is meditation, in which the thoughts focus exclusively on an objective or a mantra. The aim is to switch off all other thoughts, with the effect that performance will be much higher after meditation. This is similar in music, which is ultimately similar to competitive sport. From this inner balance, the much needed self-confidence can be drawn in order to deliver flawlessly and with high concentration at the decisive moment. So far, according to the books. Let me give you another, at least to me, impressive example. Zakk Wylde. Zakk Wylde, guitar hero. Cool guy, crazy guy, what he does with the guitar. Back the days, I've listened a interview with him, of course, and how he approaches live gigs, studio situations or whatever is quite impressive to me, as he was mentioning, hey, I'm just there to enjoy the music. I'm sitting in the backstage area, chilling in a chair, on a couch or whatever, and once I'm called up to stage, I grab my guitar and just deliver the performance. So basically, he managed to get the calm feeling and to deliver precise performance on stage because it's not frightening him anymore. The stage is his aim. Live performing is what gives him confidence. And that was really impressive to me, as I still, up to today, I'm fucking nervous just before a live gig situation, for instance. But some techniques help me out. So let's go into importance of tension and relaxation. It is clear that constant tension is neither healthy nor even possible. This applies to muscles, but as well as the head, your brain. It is not helpful for anyone to spend hours concentrating on all their thoughts and concentrating on delivering a crazy solo or a complex part of a guitar riff perfectly. In fact, the opposite can happen. After so much concentrated concentration, the candidates are simply exhausted when it counts. Consequently, relaxation and calmness play a crucial role. Don't keep thinking about the same hurdle, just let your mind wander and definitely take real breaks. Taking real breaks is what I slightly mentioned already in the video rehearsal. So taking breaks is definitely a crucial point to me. Is it true that strength grows from calmness? Let me know in the comments what's your opinion on this so far. For me, motivation is good, of course, but it is even better to approach musical tasks ambitiously. Hey, of course, without the necessary drive, no musician, no sportsman can make any progress. Overmotivation every second, on the other hand, is counterproductive and leads to mistakes. So especially as it often leads to superficiality. Sometimes I really feel guilty if I just do nothing and enjoy the peace and silence around me instead of multitasking and doing 10 different things at once. But the solution to many problems lies in peace and silence. Once I allow myself not to be constantly on the edge, I can better flip the switch at the right moment. This is what I experienced throughout the last years. How to incorporate some of the theories into daily life now. Setting up triggers. Yes, set an alarm until the path you have chosen becomes a routine. For instance, 5 p.m. rehearsal time. Okay, the alarm rings or goes off at 4:55, 4:50, 4:59 even. Doesn't matter. But the alarm signals this is exactly when your performance is at its peak. Now focus on the rehearsal. Leave everything behind you. On the flip side, until the alarm rings, don't mind about the rehearsal, because you are prepared, you did your individual preparation, everything the days prior to the rehearsal, and until the alarm goes off, there is no point of being or getting nervous or have already thoughts about in a very hardliner way. So basically, the ringing of the alarm is your trigger. It compresses your performance into a certain time window, and before and after, you allow yourself just to remain calm, not having your thoughts spinning around the event all time prior and after. It didn't work the first time for me, but I gave that method a chance, and today it's really most of the time working for me. Now let me give you a few practical examples to illustrate all what we have talked until now. Scenario number 1, the demonstration effect. Imagine guitar lessons. You've practiced your lesson in an exemplary manner over the past week, over the past few days. Your lesson, no matter what it is about now, is just working out and you are pretty confident. Then the much quoted demonstration effect happens. Suddenly you are in the situation, you are in the spotlight situation in front of your teacher and maybe in front of some other students, full of enthusiasm, and you want to get started and show what you did throughout the last days, and already messing up the first few notes of whatever you've trained. There is no trace of accuracy, fingers are just shaking slightly, and you're thinking, oh my god, right? Who knows these situations? It's quite common. It happens nearly to anybody. If you talk to fellow musicians, this guitar lesson situation or scenario is a very most common. Okay, but what to do now? I say it's time to put the guitar aside for a moment. Now calm down and try to remember, I can do it, I know it. Give yourself the opportunity, letting your thoughts wander. Having maybe a chat with your teacher about everyday life, or simply letting thoughts wander whilst the other students are playing their stuff. And after that short break, consciously putting everyday's life aside now, and what remains is the concentration that has been sharpened by the previous relaxation. And now you are nailing whatever you have learned or whatever you have trained the whole week over. Scenario number 2, the supposed pressure in the recording studio. In the studio, everything has to go perfectly, right? The pressure is immense to deliver your own parts in the first take, free of any flaws. For days or even weeks, you've been looking forward to the date that will spark the next boost for your band. In your minds, everything simply revolves around the upcoming studio recording. Now, you are standing in the scared booth, highly tense, and the red light or whatever is going on, or this audio sound engineer is just telling you, now it's your turn. And in fact, however, you are now already completely mentally exhausted, because you have neither the composure nor the financial budget of those who can afford to work on parts and songs in the studio directly. So this results in having the tracks recorded over and over again, which certainly doesn't make the takes any better. As an effective solution for me turned out to direct my thoughts in other directions before entering even the studio. Not to stress and not to let the professional conditions upset you. Concentration too early often fizzles out. At least that happens sometimes to me. It is better to build up concentration just before the start, and then it matters to use it in a compressed form, with justified self-confidence and without distractions. Anyway, the DAW will do the rest. Last scenario. Live performance in front of the crowd. It's no news that adrenaline is already running high long before the live gig. I've experienced this myself again and again and again, and even until today. It doesn't matter if you play in front of maybe 10 or 20 people, or standing in front of 700, 500, 800 people, possibly even the music police who comment on every note with a disparaging look. The worst thing you can do is probably to get yourself worked up mentally beforehand. Anticipation, yes, but no premature excessive respect to the situation. For what? Whether there are 10 or 800 people, that makes no difference to my musical performance. But there is no doubt that the performance has to be on point, down to the second, and to be honest, you have enough to do before the gig even starts. Only when the backline is set up, everything is in place, the instruments are tuned, and the sound check is over, everything is fine, everyone withdraw and use their own mechanism, such as meditation, for maybe 10 minutes to switch off everything else around you. Highly concentrated and focus again. I can go out now on stage and deliver my best performance. To me, the most important thing, the best performance I'm able to deliver this day. To feel safe and comfortable and enjoying it. To me, this is maybe not the most important, but a very important point. I want to enjoy making music. I want to enjoy being with my bandmates on stage, being with my bandmates in the studio, even only in the rehearsal situation, and doing our stuff. Feeling comfortable, having a great time. This matters to me. And without any doubt, everything mentioned in today's video, this hits you anyway, because this is reality. And we need strategies. Everyone needs his own strategies, how to deal with being nervous, with maybe disappointments once you're not hitting a note in the solo in front of the live crowd or whatever. Hey, take a step back and go from there. Next time, nail it again. At least this is what I'm telling me all the time once this happens. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and please comment and give your views on this topic or any other topic you wish. See you at the next one.